Top 10 Worst Hurricanes in the U.S. History. In the U.S., the hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. For many of us, the hurricane season is just another weather fluctuation, but for those living close to the coastline, it's the most nightmarish of all seasons, because ferocious waves, speedy winds stir the Atlantic, and prolonged disruption awaits the coastline dwellers. The U.S. has seen many intense storms over the years, so it makes sense to check out which hurricanes proved to be the most devastative to date. Today, we're counting down 10 of the worst hurricanes in the U.S. history. Are you ready to go down memory lane? Number 10, Hurricane Charley of 2004. Hurricane Charley was, although small, but highly nasty. It tore through Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda and blew across the Florida peninsula. Charley played dirty by sending 79-mile-per-hour winds towards Orlando, followed by a tornado through Daytona Beach, making landfall in South Carolina's Myrtle Beach and eventually slowing down in southeast Virginia. Despite being a small hurricane, its violent winds caused widespread destruction in Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte, producing 16 tornadoes in Florida, Virginia, and North Carolina, costing around $20 billion in damages. Hurricane Charley is dubbed the second costliest hurricane recorded in U.S. history so far. However, direct casualties were remarkably low, with 10 deaths in the U.S., 4 in Cuba, and 1 in Jamaica. Number 9, the Superstorm Sandy, 2012. The Superstorm Sandy reared its ugly head in as many as 24 U.S. states. Can you believe that? It started from Florida, then moved to Maine only to wander across the Appalachian Mountains, afterward headed to Michigan and Wisconsin. Causing devastation all along, Superstorm Sandy moved to New Jersey and New York. Its 900 miles winds were so strong that more than 8.5 million residents of the Northeast USA were left without electricity. Sandy's screaming and surging waves destroyed or damaged nearly 650,000 houses, causing $60 to $70 billion worth of damages and killing 233 people in 8 countries. It merged with a winter storm that arose in October 2012, becoming the largest diameter hurricane ever to hit the Atlantic, affecting the entire eastern seaboard. Number 8, Labor Day Hurricane 1935. The Labor Day hurricane hit the U.S. on September 2, 1935, and it turned out to be the most intense storm ever. It started from the Florida Keys and registered 892 millibars at landfall, which is the lowest sea level pressure ever recorded. Initially, the Labor Day hurricane was dubbed Category 5 storm, hitting the mainland U.S., but eventually tying with Hurricane Dorian, which amplified its intensity to the greatest levels. The hurricane resulted in maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. The storm surged almost 20 feet and caused catastrophic damages across the Florida Keys. Reportedly, it destroyed all structures between Marathon and Tavernier and demolished the town of Islamorada, severely damaged the Florida East Coast Railway's Key West extension, and caused extensive obliteration in Northwest Florida, Carolinas, and Georgia. Over 400 casualties were reported. Most of the deceased were World War I veterans working on various construction projects and waiting for a train from Miami to get evacuated. Number 7, Okeechobee Hurricane 1928. Okeechobee Hurricane is also called the San Felipe II Hurricane. It is said to have claimed the lives of around 3,000 residents in Central Florida. That's why Okeechobee Hurricane is dubbed the second deadliest in U.S. history. According to several reports, this figure is an underestimation because along the entire path of the storm, Okeechobee Hurricane claimed the lives of over 4,100 people. The storm started from Puerto Rico and was immediately given Category 5 because it brought up 160 miles per hour winds. The storm started on September 13, 1928, and quickly destroyed over 24,700 homes. It's reported that around 192,444 homes were severely damaged, leaving 500,000 people homeless. It hit West Palm Beach in Florida on September 17th, destroying 1,711 homes. It then caused water to pour out of Lake Okeechobee. This resulted in hundreds of square miles flooding as deep as 20 feet. The hurricane swept away Canal Point, Bella Glade, South Bay, Chosin, and Pahokee, and continued to the eastern seaboard, costing the government around $1.3 billion in damages. Number 6. Hurricane Andrew, 1992. Hurricane Andrew was another Category 5 storm making landfall in South Florida. Andrew is the second highest recorded storm, with an estimated 167 miles per hour in terms of wind speed. Experts claim that the exact wind speed of Hurricane Andrew is hard to determine because it destroyed most of the instruments. The hurricane started from Elliott Key in Florida in August 1992 and proved to be the most devastating storm to ever hit Florida in terms of the number of structures it eventually damaged or destroyed. Top Everything discovered that Hurricane Andrew destroyed more than 63,500 houses, damaged 124,000 homes, and cost the state around $27.3 billion in damages. Hurricane Andrew made a second landfall in Louisiana and had become a Category 3 storm by then. It caused a widespread power outage, leaving close to 230,000 residents without electricity. However, the number of deaths directly caused by Hurricane Andrew is relatively low, with 65 casualties. Number 5. Hurricane Camille, 1969. Hurricane Camille reached the highest recorded wind speed at worldwide landfall at 190 miles per hour when it hit the Mississippi Gulf Coast on August 17th. However, this isn't the max speed, and we may never know how fast its wind speed was since the hurricane destroyed all wind measuring tools and equipment by the time it reached its peak. However, Camille was a compact storm with a max surge of 24 feet, the highest ever recorded in southern Mississippi at that time. Camille's swath of destruction was relatively narrow, but still, it managed to cause $1.4 billion in damages, around $9.7 billion in today's dollars, destroying 5,662 homes, damaging 13,915 homes, injuring 8,931 people, and claiming 259 lives. It caused maximum devastation across the Gulf Coast region and towards Virginia. If you're enjoying the video, why not share it with your folks and hit the like and subscribe buttons to become a member of the Top Everything family. Now it's time for the top 4 worst hurricanes. Are you ready? Let's continue. Number 4. Hurricane Harvey, 2017. Hurricane Harvey emerged from southern Texas as a Category 4 storm and caused extensive flooding over the Houston metropolitan area before hitting Louisiana as a tropical storm. Harvey brought along heavy rainfall as 40 inches of rain poured down on Houston and its surrounding areas that lasted over 4 days. This devastating hurricane displaced over 30,000 individuals and cost the state around $125 billion in damages. It's dubbed the costliest tropical cyclone ever to be recorded in this region. The hurricane made landfall at San Jose Island in Texas on August 25, 2017. But most devastation occurred around southeast Texas, particularly in the Houston metro. It damaged and destroyed over 300,000 structures, and more than 500,000 vehicles were affected. Approximately 336,000 people were left without electricity, and 107 people lost their lives. Number 3. Hurricane Miami, 1926. Hurricane Miami was a true tragedy, as it brought along a 10-foot storm surge and high winds that blew waters from Lake Okeechobee, affecting the inland wholly and drastically. The Miami storm flooded the town of Moorhaven after breaching the dike that protected the town. The town remained flooded weeks after Hurricane Miami had subsided. No wonder it's called the Great Miami Hurricane. This was a Category 4 storm that started in Miami on September 18, 1926. As per a report from the Red Cross, around 372 people lost their lives due to Hurricane Miami. It caused damages of up to $105 million back then, which would come close to $100 billion in today's dollars. Number 2. Hurricane Katrina, 2005. Hurricane Katrina started from Florida and the central Gulf Coast, which you can call a double whammy. As with most storms, Katrina also knocked down trees and damaged structures, But most of the destruction was caused by its surge, which peaked at around 28 feet in several parts of Mississippi. Due to this, catastrophic flooding occurred, covering over 80% of the city and resulting in 1,800 deaths and $125 billion in damages. Hurricane Katrina is the costliest ever recorded hurricane in U.S. history, despite the fact that it wasn't the largest storm ever. It was a Category 1 hurricane that started from Florida on August 25, 2005, and gradually intensified before hitting New Orleans and Louisiana. 3 million people faced power outages, and disaster declaration covered 90,000 square miles. Number 1. Hurricane Maria, 2017. Hurricane Maria is the most devastating of all hurricanes in the U.S. Maria gusted through Dominica as a Category 5 storm on September 20th, 2017. And by the time it made landfall in Yabucoa, Puerto Rico, it had converted into a Category 4 storm. Maria is the worst natural disaster in these islands, with max sustained winds of 175 miles per hour. Hurricane Maria caused $90 billion in damage and is regarded as the third costliest tropical cyclone. Moreover, it's considered the deadliest Atlantic hurricane because it claimed over 3,000 lives. Most Puerto Rican communities are still undergoing the rebuilding phase, even though it's been several years. Maria destroyed the power grid at the island, and 3.4 million residents were left without electricity. So that's all about the top 10 worst hurricanes in the U.S. history. Top Everything is the only channel you can trust for authentic information. Show some support by hitting the like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget to tap the bell icon to stay connected. Thanks for watching.